Hello, everyone. I'm back with the 20-minute shout out. And today, continuing the series of some fantastic women I'm meeting over this very interesting podcast series that I'm doing for them this month of March, which is Offbeat Women. And today, I have one Offbeat woman as well with me. She's the owner of Pixie Interior Design Studio. Basic first. Now, let's go a little offbeat here. I think she makes amazing cakes. I've seen it on Instagram, and some of our friends have also seen it. They can vouch for it because they would have tasted it also. I have not been that lucky so far. I'm inviting myself for it. And she makes some amazing corporate gifts as well. Quite a creative person. Shreya Joshi is in front of you right now, ladies and gentlemen. And she will spend these 20 minutes with us. And at the same time, let me also tell you something very unique and great about her at this point, which I'm sure she's very proud of. She was awarded as Lokmat's Young Woman Achiever in 2021 in Mumbai. She has to do something special in her life. That is what I always felt when I met her. Here she is. Hello, Shreya. How are you doing today?
Hello, Omkar. I'm doing great. Thank
How
you.
is the weather in Mumbai? That's a standard question. I
Ah,
can't avoid it.
don't start me on that because it's horrible here in Mumbai. You know what Mumbai heat is. So yeah, it's horrible right now
Yes,
in the month of March. So yeah.
coming from a person from Mumbai, that is quite scary for me. But anyhow, it's good that I am calm and cool in Bangalore. Let me straight
Lucky
get
you.
to the first. Lucky me. Yes. Let me get to the first question, Shreya. The biggest gauge of how mentally strong you are is to consider how comfortable you are being yourself. I know you have
Very
been
true.
yourself over the years, right? So has there been something in your life recently which is what you expected and something which you did not expect, but it is happening right now? What are those two things?
Mm. So of course, if recent is considered, I think recently, things are very uncertain. There is nothing specific
Mm-hmm.
that's that I'm expecting or I did expect or I didn't expect. There is nothing certain specific answer that I have for this because it's all very
Mm-hmm.
uncertain. But definitely my business is doing
Okay.
really great, which I of course wish to.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from this in life, if you ask me, what I expect and I didn't expect in my field of career, when it's a creative field, here I expected things to be very colorful, very joyful, and everything would be very happy gala time and all that. It was never like that in this field. It was always very difficult and it was never taken seriously at the same time. And also, what I didn't expect to be coming is the outcome of the whole career path of mine because it's not how it is, because the on field experience compared to what we learn in college is so different. So, as compared to what I expect and I didn't expect, I think in life, in the field of my career, I have these answers. But I think recently it's all very uncertain. And I think after COVID, everyone knows that things are very uncertain. So right now, I'm not keeping up to any expectation plans right now. I just wanted to flow like it flows.
Going with the flow helps at times, isn't it? You just probably
Definitely.
let life take its own course, and I think that
A
matters a
lot of
lot to
times.
people like you too, right? Who are right now doing some good things in their career. But which brings me to a
Correct.
second very important query. I gave a very brief introduction about you, but let my listeners also know about Pixie. How did Pixie come about? What is this brand? What do you do under it? How did the idea of Pixie came about?
So the word pixie means something that's magical. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not right now maybe, but some time ago, I was really into a very different fantasy world where things were very magical. That's what I think so. So that's how the word pixie came into existence for me. But the whole idea of gift pixie started with a fluke, actually. I did not really plan or take any special efforts to create gift pixie or a pixie as a brand, but it just happened. I'm just lucky that it happened. And after gift pixie, I think people kept inspiring me, or people kept expecting certain things out of me, which just, as I said, I have always kept myself and my life very flowy. So I just kept doing what, the time asked or the people asked me to do so. And it just kept happening. So Gift Pixie is a brand that basically is all about people. It's all about customization. It's all about people, what they like, the surprises, the gifts and everything. So Gift Pixie or Pixie itself includes every kind of product that, people might want to have in life, that is creatively designed and which is customized, which is not machine made. So yeah, that's how Gift Pixie came into existence.
Wonderful. Since this is something very creative, I think everything to do with design becomes very creative in nature. So, who has actually taught you a lot in this craft? Everything that you do creative, has someone been a mentor to you? Has someone actually taught you this, or was it always something you dreamt of?
No, I think it was always what I dreamt of, because that
Mhm.
this was never my first or my only plan in life. But I think in my family, I'm not. My parents or nobody in my closer circles are so much into creative fields or something like. They are very technical. They are very brilliant in many other technical fields in my family. I think one of my very close relative is very creatively driven. Maybe she might have helped me through this field of career. But given a specific person, I think my art teacher, her name was Jayashri Deshmukh. She basically taught me every kind of art, every kind of painting that I have right now into me. And she was quite aged. I mean, she was old age person. Right now, she must be in her 70s, and she was herself an interior designer in her times. So the field of interiors is what Deshmukh ma'am actually inspired me into, because till then I do not think of interior designing as a field of career at all. So I was just learning my intermediates and elementary exams under her. And she was also having cataracts in her eyes. So she was a patient, and she could not see from one of her eye. Even then, she would draw or sketch something even more beautiful than any one of us could do. I think she is the kind of mentor that I would want to look. She would just look with one eye and draw something beautifully, think something out of box, and I think she kept inspiring me throughout. So I think she was the best teacher, the best art teacher that I have got in my life.
In, be it through school, through college, or even through life, sometimes you keep meeting such people who inspire you to be great in your own field.
All the
And I
time.
think that's the job teachers can do. Great job teachers do. Which brings me to a very interesting question. Again, something a little away from your career now. Just a couple of queries that I have. What motivates you to get up in the morning? Everyone has a specific motivation. Some people are driven by success, some people are driven by money. What motivates you to get up in the morning and start your work?
I think I'm in a age where everything should drive me crazy when it comes to the morning and the working. But I think right now, I don't want to be, philosophical when I want to answer certain questions, because I have just heard it somewhere. You might have also heard it on some social media platform that first become rich even before becoming a philosopher. So I think the most driven factor for me in the morning would be money. I'm in a stage, every one of us are on such a stage where money should drive us crazy, and money should be the only factor to drive us crazy. I don't want to work in any way or any which ways to just earn money just like that. But of course, money should be, a priority in my life right now. And I think forever. So, money.
Good, very nice, very
Success,
frank
I think,
and
aa
very
jayegi.
straightforward answer. Yes, yeah, very straightforward answer. I like that. I like it. I have always liked that about you, being very straightforward with your answers, which also tells me, or suddenly it came to me that a lot of times when you answer such questions, you tend to become a little diplomatic. You didn't do that, so I think that is good. That's good to know.
I'm glad. I'm very bad in, fake smiles, fake answers. I'm really bad at it. Sometimes that's a problem, that I'm way too straight for certain people, but I cannot be diplomatic. That that takes me to a lot of troubles in life, but that's how it is. Yeah.
That's how it is. Yeah, that's how it should be, I guess. I think that's also a value addition from your side, which is good. Uh, okay, so everyone is proud of one achievement they've done in their lives. Doesn't matter what age they are, right? So is there one moment or something that you have done so far which makes you really proud?
I think I can have two things in my mind right now. If taken my professional career into consideration, of course, Pixie itself is the most proudest achievement I have, because everything that I do, everything that I'm known for is under Pixie. So Pixie has to be my proudest achievement when it comes to profession. I think when it comes to my personal question, I would like to answer this. Ki, in certain phase of my life, I was not really into interiors, in the field of interiors, because as I said, the outcome of what my college taught me was so different from the reality of the world now. Then I maybe thought maybe interiors is not for me, maybe I'm not for interiors. I was not doing it as a career, I was not pursuing it as a career. Every father and mother wants their son or child to be Sharma ji ka beta, Sharma ji ki beti. That's how it is. Now my father has a big list to inform people ki, my daughter does this, my daughter does that. So in my profession, in my personal question, I think my father, or the things that my father says about me is, I think, like the proudest achievement I can ever think of.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as it is, I think for a lot of people, because it's an answer I get a lot to any individual that I've
Definitely.
spoken to at length, right? That there's
Yeah,
one parent who's extremely proud of what their kid has achieved, and day in day out, I think that also becomes a motivation for us to keep working, and that's enough motivation.
definitely.
You really don't need anything else apart from that to keep achieving, to keep going at it.
Correct.
And that is also driven by values, right? Everything is driven by values in life, which also brings me to the next point of discussion. When we talk of values, every field also has its own values, right? Everyone talks about values in different sectors, different businesses. So now what values are important for you in your own profession? So let's say interior design is the is the point of contention here. What would be the values you think are important to work in this sector?
I think the most important thing that my father, as I said, that my father is kind of an inspiration for me when it comes to business, because he's a business person and I've always looked up to him for everything. And the one thing that he always said to me is, you should always have people around you and good people around you. The connects that the bond, the kind of connect you have with people is what will always take you further in business. So one thing or one value that I want to always keep in mind is, keeping a good touch, keeping a good bond with every person I meet. May that be my vendor, may that be my worker, my client. The only thing that you should do in life is to just be very kind and, very mm, you should be the people's person, basically. I am that. So when it comes to my values of business, I think I am the people's person. I talk to everyone. I am good to all my workers, all my clients. So that is one value that I will never lose in my field of business, definitely.
So one tricky question now associated with this, because we spoke of something like this earlier, which is your
Yeah.
trait of being a little straightforward when you're talking to people, right? You're yourself, you
Yeah.
said. Now, when you're talking to clients, I know clients sometimes, at times,
Hmm.
can be unreasonable. It happens. It happens to most of us. To entrepreneurs, this is an everyday thing. How do you deal with that? Would you still be the frank self, or would you modify that a little? What happens?
So I think, I am not diplomat when it comes to my clients, but I have to be very sweet when it comes to business. So when it comes to my clients, I think I treat them very differently, and it's not fake at all. I mean, sometimes even my मतलब कभी कभी ऐसे भी हो जाता है कि I want to be very professional with them, but it kind of flows like a very personal relationship. It flows like a very, oh, I know them since many years kind of a relationship. So so I am that person when it comes to my relation or my way of talking or way of connecting with people. So even if it is my clients, I'm never diplomatic, and even if they are problematic, because of my behavior, after a certain time they kind of trust me, even they kind of feel good with me, and they don't really irritate me. Matlab, I have not yet come across, luckily, maybe that can be because of my luck or my behavior, I really don't know, but I have not came across any irritating client wife. who sits on my head and irritates me like that. I've not encountered anyone such yet. Yet.
Nice, good for you, and I hope it stays that way. But you will of course keep having these experiences. That's the way things are. As entrepreneurs, I think these experiences only teach you. But there are always certain things, like for example, in your field of interior design, you might have a lot of people who are so-called experts in the field, who have been there, done that for years together. Is there something
Correct.
that they keep saying that you disagree with? So something that the experts say you have to do in this field, and Shreya says, no, you don't have to do it.
I think this is the best question you have asked me. In my field of career, the first thing that everyone says is कि ये लड़की का काम नहीं है. It's a very general statement and I've heard it a lot of times. आप घर पे बैठो, आप ऑफिस में बैठो, आप लैपटॉप पे डिजाइनिंग करो. Site dealing with workers, dealing with vendors can be done by some man. So I have never understood that point, and all my experts have always kept me telling that. So I have seen girls who can handle workers, who can handle everything on the top of their life, uh, without caring if they can do it or they can't, because I don't think there's anything that a girl can't. So I think I have disagreed to this factor that in field of interiors या construction के field में सिर्फ लड़कियों का कुछ on site काम नहीं होता है, ऐसे बिल्कुल नहीं होता. So definitely काम होता है. Another big thing I think is the language. We deal with workers, right? They are the labor class workers. So when it comes to talking to them or dealing with them, people tend to be very harsh or rude with them. And फिर वो लोग ऐसे बोलते कि उनको यही भाषा समझती है. This is the language they understand. And I am not a person who can talk so harshly. I can be straight, but I cannot use abusive or bad language at all. So I'm not that person. And बिना गाली गलौज भी I think I have achieved a lot in life. So ऐसे कुछ नहीं है कि उन पे आप गाली बरसाओ तो ही वो काम करते हैं. अरे आप अच्छे से काम बताओ तो वो काम करते ही है. उनको भी काम ही करना होता है.
That also means breaking barriers in a nicer way, right? It's all
Of
about that
course.
at the end. I know there are a lot of barriers that women still have to break day in, day out, professionally, personally, and it keeps happening. Of course, we have come a long way. Things are happening for women right now. Still, I would say there is some way to go for us to come to a place where, this would not be told to you, that, this is not something a girl should do. Something interesting for you to answer now. I know you're a foodie as well. I have experienced it. So I think that's common between us. So now, something to do with food here. If there was one dish that you had to have for the rest of your life, one meal, one dish you could have for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One dish. You're asking a very wrong question to a girl, because a girl cannot answer one thing when it comes to food, when it comes to clothes. I don't think there's one thing that we can answer. But at the same time, so of course I do like all the masala food items, but I'm a very typical Indian Maharashtrian person, and I love mau varan bhat. I love varan bhat. That is one meal, one kind of meal that I can eat any time of the day.
Okay. Fair enough. I think still you again being very honest. That's who you are, and that's what I'm beginning to like. That's what I've always liked. Now, something for the viewers as we draw to a close of this interview. Are there any three movies that you can recommend that the listeners should not miss at all?
So if you want to, have motivation in life, go for Pursuit of Happiness. If you want realization in your life, go for The Sky is Pink. And if you want to change something in life, go watch Race to Nowhere.
Wonderful
Yeah.
recommendations. Thanks a lot, Shreya. And viewers, listeners, I know that there could be a lot of things that you still want to hear and listen from Shreya, but I've promised it's just a 20-minute shout out. So I'll put in links to Shreya's Instagram, Pixie's Instagram to be precise. Please get to know her, catch her on LinkedIn, talk to her. She's doing fantastic work in her area. And I know she inspires a lot of people to be like her. Thank you, Shreya, once again. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, listeners, for listening to me very, very patiently. If you keep liking these interviews, that would mean a lot to me. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it where you can. Well, just a lot of people get to learn something from it. Thanks once again, Shreya. I'll meet you
Thank
soon,
you
and
so
I'm
much,
sure
Omkar. Thank
a
you.
lot of our listeners will be connecting with you.
Thank
And
you.
yes,
Bye.
before I forget, what would you do next? Tune in, leap up. Bye bye. Take care.